Popdog, the dog hidden in Counter-Strike. He's not an agent or a skin, but a cartoon dog that's been in the game for over 25 years. And if you've ever planted a bomb, waited for the timer to hit 0 on the defuse kit, or heard someone call out Pop on train, then you've taken part in his legacy without even knowing it. Because here's the thing no one talks about. The studio and the people behind this dog built most of what we know today and play in Counter-Strike. Their work turned the game from a janky mod into the basis of what we know now, a billion-dollar franchise. And all they got was a special thanks in the credits. So I'm gonna give them their due diligence. I'm going to tell you everything there is to know about Counter-Strike's mascot, where he came from, his significance in the build of the game, all the little Easter eggs and things you didn't know, and why it's insane that they're trying to replace their best chance at a mascot for the game. This is the story of Counter-Strike's unsung hero. So it starts at Radical Entertainment, the game studio most famous for developing Simpsons Hit and Run, another classic. 6 gentlemen from the studio: Glenn Barnes, Peter Grant, Michael Giori, Christopher Mayer, who would go on to design Train, Brian Talkin, and Sean Thompson, the creator of Popdog, left and formed a studio of their own, Barking Dog Studios. They didn't want it to sound too snobby, so they named it after the pub they were at. 6 devs, a dog logo made in MS Paint, but little did they know they were about to completely change the entire essence of video games in the modern world. Inside Barking Dog, there were 3 separate teams. Their FPS team gave themselves the nickname Popdog, and they were about to get a call that would change their futures. Barking Dog had hired a university student by the name of Min Lee, and Min Lee was working on his mod that he created called Counter-Strike. When Valve learned he was working at Barking Dog, they approached the studio and asked if they would like to work on Counter-Strike 1.5. The people on the Popdog team were fans of the game, so they took Valve up on their offer. Valve offered to finance the entire development as a way to show gratitude, but they were really just testing the waters to see if they wanted to completely acquire Counter-Strike in the future. Popdog went all in. Now Min Lee, Gooseman, was busy with his university studies, so roughly 80 to 90% of what you saw in these updates were created by Popdog. They fixed all the bugs, they cleaned up the code, the entire HUD design, the iconic screen when you load into the game. They introduced features we still use today, such as planting the bomb, making it so every team member can defuse, the defuse kit, the timer going down when you defuse, the weapon icons in the buy menu, and all the little helpful tips you see on screen throughout your playtime. They added the SAS models, the hostage mod, the XM14, 2 maps, CS Back Alley, a hostage map, and of course DE Train. Now, despite some of the most important contributions, they were only given a special thanks in the manual. Christopher Mayer, the designer of Train, was excited people were going to play his maps, but was disappointed by the minimal credit. But they didn't leave empty-handed. They left their signatures in the form of Easter eggs, which you can still find to this day. When you don't get credit on something, you learn to hide your signature. And credit to Valve, they've kept them in the game throughout its iterations. On Train, a Barking Dog map, you could see the Popdog train at the Popdog callout, and pretty much every player still calls it Pop to this day. And if you crouch and go underneath the boxcar, you can hear a dog bark almost as if he's trapped inside the cargo. It's almost as if the T's are trying to blow up a Popdog shipment and the CTs are trying to stop, which is maybe why all the Popdog skins are on CT guns. Now they've since changed the callout to Longdog, but we'll get into that later. SKINFLOW allows you to trade or sell your skins for crypto or real cash at a fair rate. Take advantage of the flex payout system, which gives you a bonus value if you split your payout into 12-month increments. The more skins you sell, the more percentage you get on future sales and exclusive cash rewards. And even if you take a break from Counter-Strike, the percentage bonuses you earn on SKINFLOW are permanent. Feel free to purchase skins on SKINFLOW as well, which offers the market-verified lowest rate for any skin. Take advantage of the fire deal system to receive a bonus valuation, plus an extra 2% when you use my code MIKE. Seek out the low float and sticker craft section, which SKINFLOW doesn't adjust for overpay. First come, first serve. Giveaways. Fast. 24/7 support makes SKINFLOW.gg a no-brainer. On the map CS Back Alley, a lesser known map, but still found its way in pretty much every iteration except for the newest one, CS2, had a couple of Easter eggs. You had the Popdog billboard, which advertised the soda. You had vending machines, which displayed all the branding. And you had 2 auditory Easter eggs. If you approached from CT spawn, you could hear a car alarm with dogs barking at it in the background. And if you came from T spawn, you can hear a dog and a cat barking and hissing at each other. And you could find the vending machine on other maps scattered throughout Counter-Strike, but those are the extents of their ad placements. But Popdog isn't just an Easter egg, he's a whole brand. Face of a soda company. It must be a really good soda if there's a bomb defusal situation going on at the shipment location. Train takes place in Russia, so it's assumed that it distributes in both the US and Russia. And we have terrorist organizations trying to blow up their distribution plants. That's world building, so eventually they give them some more love. In 2016, Popdog got its first official introduction into the artwork of the game with a graffiti in the October Make Your Mark update. And then in 2019, with the release of the CS20 case, Popdog got 2 homages in the form of skins. Firstly, the Mag 7 Popdog. This is a blue skin, and its base is designed after the crates that you saw in the original DE Train. And of course, the signature Popdog graffiti on the side of the gun. And also in the CS20 case, the AUG Death by Puppy. a very vibrant skin meant to mimic the P90 Death by Kitty, but the cats are replaced with Popdog. So we're no longer an Easter egg anymore. We're merchandise. Popdog's come a long way. So how have the people behind Popdog fared? So Popdog and Barking Dog Studios, the studio that helped build Counter-Strike. They went on to become Rockstar Vancouver, that Rockstar. And their biggest contribution as Rockstar was the game Bully. Simpsons Hit and Run, Bully, Counter-Strike. These guys are sick. Post Rockstar, a lot of the developers went their own ways and created their own studios, with not too many notable projects, but they did help a lot with co-developing other games you've probably played today. The team scattered, their fingerprints are everywhere throughout any video game you've played. And Valve paid homage to that in their newest release, Counter-Strike 2. November 2024, Valve brings back DE Train, and they had the opportunity to do something beautiful, but it just turned out to be controversial. The iconic Popdog callout was extended and renamed into Longdog. What are we doing? I'm gonna get on my soapbox now. First off, Longdog's fucking ugly. And Popdog isn't just a cool piece of history. He's a prime example of a missed opportunity. Valve is replacing him. Let's think about gaming mascots. You got Mario for Nintendo. You got Master Chief for Halo. You got the kid from Fallout, the blonde kid. Sonic for autistic children. Counter-Strike, biggest FPS in gaming history. Been around for 30 years almost. Millions of monthly players, and we got a fucking chicken. Get real. Our mascot's been hiding in plain sight for the last 30 years. See, gaming mascots and most decisions in gaming in general are manufactured. Marketing teams, they sit in boardrooms, they decide to get a character that'll fit with the youth demographic, but that's not how Valve rolls. Popdog's organic. It represents Counter-Strike itself. The 6 developers that punched way above their weight built the foundation of what many know today as Counter-Strike from a mod from another game. Counter-Strike's organic. So is Popdog, and they're trying to replace him. Remember when Family Guy killed Brian and replaced him with an Italian dog for no reason? Like, Brian was like a main character. He was in like 75% of episodes for more than half of the runtime. Popdog's Brian, Longdog is Vinny. The artwork immediately recognizable. The callout will never go away, no matter what you put on the screen. The art style is cool. The lore runs deep here. Now you want me to call it Longdog? Absolutely not. We have 15 chicken stickers, not one Popdog sticker. We have 2 Popdog skins on weird-ass guns. Longdog gets an AWP in the first update. And change the fucking callout back to Popdog, will ya? Gaming history is full of forgotten contributions. Studios get acquired, merged, renamed, shut down, and so are the names of people that built these foundations to begin with. Popdog is a rare exception. Valve has done well in making sure their legacy lives on. So much so that you know Popdog as Popdog and not Barking Dog Studios. So if you ever go back into 1.6 and crouch underneath that train, that's not a sound effect. That is the echo of 6 guys named their studio after a pub and built one of the most important games ever made. They went to different studios. They founded their own. They created new games. But Popdog has stayed. And for almost 30 years, Counter-Strike has kept them in, kept the graffiti, and added extra homages. Counter-Strike has 30 million players per month, and it still has no mascot. But it doesn't matter, because the people's mascot already exists. Legends shouldn't be footnotes.